Welcome into the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah, the site of the 2025 5A state tournament. As we've got an awesome one here today. Dusty Litzner, please be joined by Dane Stewart, and of course, our coach, Trey Smith. One of our absolute favorites. Trey, this is going to be an absolute blast. Let's start first with Highland.
When I say I appreciate you guys having me here, man. I love y'all, man. I really do. But Highland's one of the best defensive teams in 5A, and I think they're so talented top to bottom. When we played them in the second round, I was telling my staff if any of these guys played on any other team just by themselves, they'd all average anywhere from 18 to 22 points per game. So for these guys to sacrifice a little bit. That's what you have to do to be a good basketball team.
Well, that's just one of the most awesome parts, right? When you see what coaches had to do and all the stuff has been absolutely amazing. Now, Bountiful comes in and Coach
Gus.
Yep. Came over, and the guy has been absolutely. I mean, he's on the floor right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just one of the fun teams for us to see.
Really fun team. This Bountiful team, they love to get up and down the floor, and I'm really interested in this game because when you think about Highland, they've got a guy like a Vi Higbee in the paint. Coach, you just had to deal with Vi, and he can be a big disruptor inside. Emerson Gileman, the BYU commit on the gridiron, he may have his hands full tonight working in the paint against Vi Higbee. But the guard line of Bountiful going to have to match up really well because when you talk about Drisdom, Anderton, there's a lot of guys around him that can shoot the three. Bountiful shoots the three very well as well. This game could very easily get in the 70s here to kick us off in this 9:30 tip-off.
We are tipped off here inside the John M. Huntsman Center. And it's just interesting to see all of the red on red in the building.
I love seeing it too.
And yet he showed up in blue.
I love it. He showed up in blue because he didn't have an option.
Don in his school. Love it.
Hey, I'm a Utah guy through and through, man.
I know.
That's why I didn't say anything.
But you make that Cypress blue look sharp, Coach.
Hey, I appreciate two of my alma maters, man. I love them both.
That is Higbee. You see him going up.
Yep.
And you got to. I mean, that's just as easy as it can be. And when you have guys like this, and Val Higbee could just hang in there.
Yeah, Vi's been really good for them. Doesn't get a lot of the talk because of Drisdom and some of the others, but, man, he is just a beast inside.
Trying to hang on, sends it out to the corner. That ball is offline, did not hit the rim, so did not reset the shot clock. So off of the rebound, and there's the block, but you're going to have a foul shot on the foul.
It's one of the interesting things. Coach, I know you played in this gym, but, you've had teams come to these larger settings. Bountiful does shoot a lot of threes. They rely on that three. How do you help your shooters get comfortable in a game like this?
I think it comes with just, patience and just taking what the defense gives you for the most part, not forcing anything, but, talking to Coach G a little bit prior to this game, they're going to play their game. They're going to get up shots. He's got to stick to what's got you here all year.
And the three hit is good. How about that one?
Soren Reese, the length. We've seen him work in the block at times this year. That time a confident looking outside shot from the big man.
With 5-0 to Highland. Try to fit that in there, and it's out of bounds, and it'll stay with Riverton. Of course, the lineup today, the referees, is Doug Kinsman, Brandon Wilkins, and Drake Marquez. Does get that in quickly, and the layup is there for Emerson Gileman.
A nice finish inside there for Gileman. He plays big. He can play really physical. You see his football ability come through on the hardwood.
Sees that ball up top. Gonna fight through. Blocked away by Gileman. Got the lead ahead. Not a chance. Is that's not gonna get in there. Had to get that up on the rim.
I was impressed he got it up.
That was a great catch, too.
On the drive, and then the foul. Gonna put him at the line to shoot 2 free throws. Val Higbee makes it difficult. What do you think when you see someone like Higbee?
He's a handful, man. He plays such a tough and physical brand of basketball. He's probably one of the toughest players we've had the opportunity to play all year this year. If you let that kid get to his right hand, It's over.
Is that the right hand?
It's over. He gets to his right downhill, you don't have a chance.
Got the first. They probably missed the first, got the second. So 1 of 2 there for Higbee. And back on the other end. See someone just go to work, but does not finish it as he can't get it. And the rebound is to Reese. Now on the push with the Highland Rams. Tried to drop that inside and could not handle it. So a turnover, and we'll go back to the hands of the Redhawks. Just an interesting thing to see early on of who's got what, who's doing what, and it's kind of the feeling we have right now.
No, I think both teams will. I think Bountiful's gonna settle in, man. They'll start making some shots, but I obviously, like I said, Highland's one of the best defensive teams in 5A, and Bountiful's, I believe, the highest scoring 5A basketball team. So, we're gonna see offense wins, defense wins, man. And I'm a big defensive guy, but I'm starting to come around to offense. Offense might. You need some firepower.
Look, you coached Q. I mean, 2 years later, you're like, I'm coming around on offense.
I am, man. It makes a big difference. You got to be able to score the ball.
Well, how about that one? Lincoln Smith knocks down a 3, and it's 7-5.
Drisdom picked up a foul on that other end. How important is Isaiah Drisdom to this team, Coach?
I think the key, he's the head of the snake. He does a good job. He runs their offense. He's a very unselfish ball player. He gets guys set up in the right position. What you're going to find interesting for Bountiful, they're defensively, they're not strictly a man. They're playing like a matchup zone right now. So any cuts, dives, you're going to see a lot of switches.
That's a good play by Higbee there to knock it out. But you talked in the opener about players for Highland who, less selfish, don't necessarily look for themselves. To me, that is Isaiah Drisdom. He could easily score 18, 20 a night on another team, but on this team, he recognized, hey, I got plenty of options. I'm going to be a facilitator.
Well, how about the make there from Charlie Smith? So now tied at 7. It was 7-0. And now you got a 7-0 run back here from the Redhawks.
And I think the key for Bountiful is they have to do a really good job of, keeping the Smith brothers in check. And
hey, you want to know how different that end of the floor is? That ball was just jackknifed up and in. Oh, we're down to travel. Coach Gus was like, wait, are you sure? And that official's making like, yes. little head nod. Like, yep, okay.
Yeah, us as coaches, man. We just have to ask the referees and these officials some questions sometimes. Not all the time, just sometimes.
Just sometimes. Well, especially that one there's just popped out of bounds.
Coach, we've had fun talking to coaches this week. How many technicals have you had? Too many to count. Look at that. Look at that.
I probably, in my 11 years, I might lead the state. I don't know. I get after it, man. It's just who I am. I'm passionate, and I fight for my kids, man.
I've looked at Cypress stats. I don't see that stat on there. So
yeah, it's not on there. We're gonna keep it disclosed. Nobody needs to know.
The 3 won't go. The rebound grabbed by Soren Reese. Now on the run with Highland, but the Redhawks were already back. Come off the screen, hit Soren Reese. Gonna put it off the window and got it. Nice job there by Soren Reese.
Is that a delay warning?
Must have been.
How about Soren Reese? He knows Tab Bank is sponsoring our coverage this week. He's got a couple of Tab Bank shots in the opening minutes here.
He's gotten them, right?
Yeah.
That kid's a good player, man. Soren's a good player. Plays hard. He competes.
I feel like he's really matured this year. His shot selection has been much improved. Seen a lot more versatility from him.
Can't get the shot. Can't get the rebound either. And how about come back the other end, and it's a bank and make for Jack Anderton.
I think Anderton is a big X factor for Highland. Like if you let the kid get loose and he gets feeling good and he gets shots up, I think that makes him a really tough team to guard.
And is that because you just have too many guys you got to cover now?
Oh, 100%. And then they even bring in, the number 2 Gucci off the bench, and he can go to almost any other program and be a starter. Highland's just, they're deep. They have a good guard play.
14-7. I mean, it is a 7-0 run in this game. Anywhere it's going to go, like it's just going to be a 7-0 run from what we've seen. I mean, we have 28 points in this game. How about that?
Nice.
Good pass.
And you're going to have a foul going to be charged here to Vile Higby.
We had the opportunity to we scrimmage Bountiful in the fall. Coach G, man, he runs some good sets. He has good plays. His players are very smart. So they're never, they can go on a 7-0, 9-0 run just as easy as anybody else.
He's been an A+ hire. When he got hired at Bountiful, I was kind of surprised that they offered a first-time head coach that position, given how long Maxwell was there and that program. But he's been spectacular. I mean, you think about what he's implemented this program up and down the floor, very entertaining. It's been, man, he's done such a great job at Bountiful High School.
No, but he's a big-time student of the game, though.
He is.
He loves the game, man.
Well, I've been talking with Gus for years. I mean, he's been an assistant at multiple places. We've been talking for years about, hey, what openings are you hearing about? Like, he's been just dying to get to be a head coach, and it's turned out very well for him in the first couple of years.
He sends out for three, can't get it. The rebound is taken and then taken away. Here comes Bountiful.
Oh, like the idea. Just a touch quick.
Yeah.
That's key for Bountiful, too. I think Highland's one of the best offensive rebounding teams out there. So if you get a defensive rebound and Bountiful gets out and runs, they have to score in transition. Can't turn the ball over.
You talk about impact coaches make. I mean, Coach Chris Jones. I mean, the job he's done at Highland just a couple of years. It's been phenomenal.
That is so true.
Jonesy's done it. Jonesy's always going to do it. Jonesy's always going to do a good job. And Jonesy's also a Utah guy as well.
Yep.
How about the steal and bucket there for Bryson Heath?
Of course, his son is Rylan Jones, who just wrapped up his career at Sanford. Awesome to see.
He actually went back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but season's just concluding now, his graduate year, so.
I see what you're saying.
The final year.
Hey, I can tell you something about Rylan Jones, man. One of the smartest ball players I've ever.
I still say he's the favorite player I've ever covered in this state. Rylan.
Yeah. And here comes the lead back. And then, how about this? I mean, you got so many different lineups at Bountiful where you have multiple guys who can run the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's what makes them tough, right? I mean, this is not running the shot clock. This is run the floor. They love to get after it.
That's the only way to play basketball, though, man. Like, holding the ball for 30 seconds, we got to get rid of that.
It's true.
Let's get up and down and let's play.
How about that one after it? And that's why he got the call. He swung and.
Have a look here on the drive by Bodie Dodge. Dodge is really one of the unsung guys on this team, too. He averages double figures, doesn't get talked about a lot.
Yeah.
You see that swipe come down, but I like Bodie Dodge's game.
Oh, yeah, he is sneaky athletic.
Yeah.
He's sneaky athletic.
And you worry about Drisdom so much at the point guard, you kind of forget about Bodie, and then he makes you pay for it.
Oh, yeah. They, we saw these guys last week, and they had plenty of guys that, I thought we did a pretty good job on. And Bodie here, Anderton here, Soren here. It's just, they're tough, man.
It may be the deepest team in the entire state.
Oh,
Highland.
Yeah. I think Orm's.
Do you think they're deeper? Deep.
It's close.
Okay.
It's close.
The add of Suga Turaga really does help Orem.
Oh, yeah.
In that regard, right?
That's the difference. That's the difference maker right there.
So missed and then come the other way, and man, he just lost the handle. Took it right out of his hand, and then, oh, how about that? Go to the big man, and Soren Reese rises up and throws it down, and it's 17-11. That ball's on the floor, and now we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to Highland.
Let's have another look at what it's like to be Mr. Reese. Soren for the finish. See what I did there?
I did. I loved it. Vince Francis also got it, so.
Just wait till you hear the vegetable I have in mind for a little bit later.
Going to send it back up. Comes off the screen. Oh, nothing there. Did a little look away pass and ball goes out of bounds. So 33.7 seconds left. So technically the shot clock turned off here in the first quarter. Gonna work it here. Comes off the screen. Sends out the three on the way, won't go. Rebound taken by Soren. Oh, there's the steal. Now the shot.
Oh.
I thought he was going to make up for the miss. That ball looked good. All right, that's the end of the first quarter. Been an absolute blast. At the end of one, it is Highland 17 and Bountiful 11. You're watching the 2025 5A state tournament.
Big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
And welcome back into the John M. Huntsman Center. But Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Trey Smith with you as they send that back out. The three on the way won't go. And the board taken by Highland.
Those are the shots Bountiful has to hit to be competitive in this game. You get an open look. Unfortunately, just a little short.
Gonna pull for three. And can't get it. The offense. Oh, they said he stepped out of bounds.
And those are the tough ones for Bountiful, man. I'm telling you, if you get defensive stops, you get a rebound, you cannot turn the ball back over.
I mean,
you got to
Coach,
get shot on goal.
In between quarters, you looked over to me and you're like, Bountiful or turnovers are killing them. And that's
6.
Yep.
So right now, I think Bountiful's in a matchup zone.
And he gave it up early. That ball's going to be called on Charlie Smith.
It's his first team foul, second quarter.
And I think Charlie's a senior, right? No?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, nice hands taken away here by Bountiful. Gonna leave it to Smith. Not gonna get it. And now the rebound and run out here with Highland. Oh, nice move. Wraps his way around and he's able to lay it up and in. Nicely done there by Jordan Holbolzer.
Charlie is a senior.
A nice lead, and he does lay it up in Bryson Heath. And that's amazing because I think I just remembered just because of who did the game with me at Weber State and all that kind of stuff.
Bryson Heath is a guy who's got to get going for Bountiful too. He can drop 20 with relative ease. He might need that effort.
You had guys running out, and the ball gets tipped around, and that's an easy two.
That's the other thing about Highland. Right now, they've got 7 different scores already. We're just a minute into this second quarter. Coach, you talk about the depth, been on display here in this first half.
Hey, unselfish basketball team, man. And, you know, to get to this point and to get to this stage in the quarterfinals and potentially make it to the semis is what you have to do. It's just about winning.
It's ones you got to do, and you got to get it open. A little two-finger set.
I love the blitzing of the ball screen there by Bountiful.
And they've come after it, right?
Yeah.
Trying to run a delayed screen. Didn't matter. Geilman with the board, now on the run. Terminates it. There it is, right to the rim. And he goes and lays it up and in. And a timeout taken by Highland.
Great recognition here by Heath. He sees that lane open. Help is late. Nice finish for Bryson.
So full timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. 5:40 left in the first half. It is Highland 21 and Bountiful 15. And welcome back into the John M. Huntsman Center. As the ball is being inbounded on the other end of the floor. He doesn't have headphones on. He can take full advantage.
He's probably listening to music or watching a movie or something.
Austin Bigelow, our camera guy, nice drive, and then the finish. How about the drive and finish there from Isaiah Grisdom? That's 3 points to game, Coach.
I'm telling you, man, I think that's his first or second shot attempt of the game. But like I said, he does a really good job. He gets downhill to his right. He's a big, strong, physical guard. Finishes well in the paint.
Well, they miss on the three. Going to come back and reset the offense.
Good rotation by Bountiful on the skip. Got to contest shots.
Fires on the three and got it. How about this from Jordan Holbertser?
Bountiful comes out on that contest. I think the kid shot it from about 4 feet behind the three. Confidence, man.
Oberholzer is another one of those guys for Highland that doesn't get a lot of talk. But, man, if you don't defend, too, especially from the perimeter, he'll make you wish you did.
Another turnover by Bountiful. I think that's what's got him in this hole so fast is,
absolutely.
I think that's 7 or 8 turnovers. And for most of the game, I would say Highlands made him pay for their turnovers.
And they do have the firepower to come back, but that's got to change here very quickly because of how good this Highland team is defensively.
But it comes to stops, though. If Bountiful wants to climb back in this game and, cut it to 3-4 points before the first half ends, you got to get some stops. You got to get some scores.
Does get it inside. And the foul and the bucket. How about the finish from Vi Higbee?
Well, I love this action. Soren Reese actually comes up, and it opens up the paint for Vi. And then you see, I thought maybe a little bit of a extra step there, but
could have been. But I think for Highland, the key for them offensively is, they don't have a ton of sets, a ton of plays, but it's actions that you have to defend. They do a really good job of high-low action, row replace. Whether it's Soren, whether it's Vi, vice versa. But you got to keep Vi out that box. If he gets in there, it's going to be tough for you.
How about the black hole showing up here? Quite the showing from the Highland students as well.
I love it, man. That's what high school sports is about. It's about, everybody feeling a part of something special and being involved. There's nothing better than you have a great student session.
For those who complain the boys' games being during the day, it's like, what do you mean? It's an excuse to get out of school and work. Like this, it's fantastic.
It's a no-brainer. I don't know why you'd be upset about that.
I save my PTO every year for this week.
How about that one from Soren Reese? He will get it. Now come back, pull on the three. Doesn't get that one to go. And that ball goes out of bounds. But how about this? I'll tell you what, my favorite thing I saw in the pregame was Coach Jones came over and let them all in the chin. Right? Came over and said, hey, just clapped them up. They went back at him. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, man. Jonesy gets after it on the sidelines. I know the kids have a lot of respect for him, especially, the level he's coached at and things that he's done. And, taking over a Highland program they've always been pretty good historically, but I know he's done a pretty good job these past couple of years.
Three won't go, and that ball bounces out. And they got to really have a good possession here.
Yeah, they do. Unfortunately, get an offensive board on that one, but they do got to find points here, trailing by 14. And it doesn't have to be a three. But look at how tight that defense is.
Nice extra step, and then gets it to go. Man, that ball was not going to go down.
Good bucket by Bountiful there. They needed that bucket to go.
Yep.
Going to pull on the three and hit. How about that one from Jordan Holbolter?
He's got 8 pair of threes. Told you, you've got to know where number 2 is. Bountiful's lost him a couple times.
Feeling confident, man.
Need it.
Sends it out. The three won't go. Man, it is like the two different ends of the floor.
And remember, this is the tough end.
Oberholzer can't get that one.
Hey, heat check. As a coach, don't mind it. I'm okay with it.
Well, you had guys who, they're always in heat check mode, right?
I do, man. But it just comes with the style, man. But, I think these you know, these kids, they don't play for coaches who just understand the game. And, you know, if you've played it before and you've hit 2 or 3 shots, let it go.
Was there ever, so you're telling me, as Reese missed that one, you never had a problem with Q just coming down and popping from, 35 feet?
No, with 35 is crazy, you know, but, you know, I don't mind. There we go.
There you go. You got to have that one, right? Big man's going to finally pull on the 3, and he gets it. Now, the question is, who took the timeout?
Highland.
I'm timeout. Full timeout on the floor. Take it? No? Stay? We'll stay.
Let's stay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chat with Trey a little bit.
Even with, you know, even with my guys this past year, you know, I had 2 players. I had Beckham and Payton. I had 2 guys that hit 60-plus threes.
Yeah.
Another couple guys that hit 40-plus. Like, we get them up.
I was prepping for your that last home game, right?
Yeah.
Which, awesome.
I loved it,
night,
man.
Coach.
I loved it.
So awesome. You had, I think, 4 or 5 kids that shot 39% from 3 this year. I think it was 4. 39%.
You know, and I made it more of a goal in our practice. So we had to get up a ton more shots. You know, I think if you have a better shooting team, right, you're tougher to guard, ultimately. And you know, but these kids put in a lot of work, man. And we bring back a lot of good players from this past season.
I want to ask you, because Cypress, let's be honest, the tradition in recent years has been a big change from what it was, the prior 5, 15 years. What's it been like to go back to your alma mater and not just rebuild that, but to have success where you're playing in a semifinal and you've got a shot to win? Like, what has that been like to see that program, the complete culture of it and success of it change over the couple of years you've been at Cypress High School?
Oh, it's been big time, man. But I think it comes with, you know, support from the community, the school, admin, athletic directors, trainers, parents, players buying in. Like, it takes everybody to win, you know, and obviously I got to give a shout out to my wife. She's a big reason why I'm able to do what I do.
And she's always there on game night. And whenever I come to Cypress, I'm always like, all right, where's she at? And you always see her right behind the bench. And she's locked in, maybe as much as you, Coach. If she's on the sideline, she'd probably match you for text because she's right there.
I don't know if you see her. You probably hear her. You might not see her. You can hear her, though.
I'm surprised he didn't get called on the double dribble there, but means he actually got the ball over his hand.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah,
good defense.
Tough fall away, maybe blocked there by Bountiful. Here comes.
Got to score here, though.
On the run, hangs on a pivot.
It's like you get a stop for Bountiful. You got to score here, and you got to make them pay for it.
Does get fouled on the drive. He's going to put him at the line here from Bentley Moore.
I like the aggressive take here, right? I'm down double figures, but still trying to work it inside. And multiple touches in the paint on this possession, but you see, just get that step. And you see Vi can't go straight up there.
I think the message for Coach G to his guys, you know, down by double digits now, but it's just one stop, one possession at a time. You're not going to make a 8-point shot.
Yeah.
You know, so let's just chip away at it, get this lead down to, you know, 6 points before halftime, and it's still going to be a game.
So he made the first one, now he's got a chance on the second one. And that's 2 for 2. Nicely done there for.
Like to change the pace here by Bountiful. Try to speed him up a little bit.
Say, hey, let's make sure we get the ball back. About a 9-second difference between game clock and shot clock. And there's a near steal. Got free down the lane and couldn't quite get it to go. Going to put Isaiah Drisdom at the free throw line. And here's what's interesting is Drisdom, as he comes in with a good scoring, right? He's got 3 thus far.
Yeah, I mean, I think he averages around 9 or 10 a game.
Oh, yeah, he's about like 10 and a half per game. Yeah.
But that's where, again, like, I mean, he's got the tools where he could easily 18-20. I mean, he's that kind of a player.
But you know, he's a facilitator on this team. Gets them in their sets, but he's a bulldog offensively, and he puts that shoulder on you in the paint.
Yeah.
And he gets downhill to his right. he's as tough as it gets.
And make no mistake, he's a shooter too.
Oh yeah, he
Like
can shoot it.
that kid can pull up from anywhere, and he's probably going to hit it.
Hey, shout out to Isaiah's pops, Tim. And
Yeah,
Tim's my guy, man.
I've been waiting for you to bring that up.
Tim's my guy. I have a real funny story about Tim, man. I have to tell y'all when we get off here.
Oh, come on.
8 seconds, 7, and that ball gets knocked out of bounds. And they say no, it went off of Bountiful. Bountiful's coming back saying, no, that wasn't off us.
That ball was deflected for sure.
Yeah, they're going to have a little conversation about what happened at the end of that one.
Do you and Tim still have keys to the building here, Trey?
Maybe Tim, not me. Tim's way more important than me.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Nah, but, I try to get up here when I can, especially in the summertime.
5 seconds, 4, 3, 2. They got right into his guy and got him with the foul.
That is I don't know if anyone realizes how big of a play that is.
Huge.
Because I think Drism already had 1 foul.
Yes, he did.
And for him to have 2 right before the half.
Well, not only that, it's a stop, right?
Yeah.
So it is just 10.
Oh, yeah.
So that, the sound goes off, and that's just the end of the first half. And at the end of one half, it is Highland 34 and Bountiful 24. You're watching the 2024 and 25 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com.
Deserves the best.
I think with Bountiful, they didn't make a lot of threes in the first half, right? But they're a team that can catch fire. They can get hot really quick. They just need to limit turnovers in the second half, chip away at it. But, this Highland team's playing really well. I think you guys mentioned they have, 6 guys that have scored so far. They're tough to defend. They're hard to defend. So it's just Bountiful being focused, rebounding the basketball, getting on transition, and making some shots.
As we reopen, we got to get onto the floor. There we go. So come right back. There's the lay-in. And how about that? I mean, that's the difference in this ball game is the easy buckets that have been given.
Yeah, I think Highland, one of the best defensive teams in 5A. Bountiful needs to, I think they got to play with a little bit more force on the defensive end of the ball and, keep guys in front, be solid defensively. But that's the thing about Highland, though. Like, all 5 guys can go on many scoring runs by themselves.
The jumper is good. And there's the hand up. So he hit it. He's like, all right, we got this.
Well, they needed that, right? 1, to see the ball go through the rim. 2, to hit a 3. And 3, to get their best score, that look. There's a lot that you can build on there for Bountiful.
So Soren Reese leaves that for a trailer. And he may have gotten hit there, but no call.
Might have been a foul, no call.
Yeah, official looked back at the bench. I don't know that he loved whatever was being said.
Yeah, Coach, you saw Coach Jones kind of like, hey, what are we doing?
I think when it gets to the quarters, you get to playoff basketball, man. You gotta let the kids play. You gotta let the kids determine the outcome of games. I think the physicality of it's amplified a little bit.
So that's a fall away, does not go, and the rebound to Soren Reese. Now here comes Highland. We talked about the positives we had coming into this one, and they certainly have plenty of positives left for the last quarter, 2 quarters. So send it out, the 3 on the way, and got it. Bodie Dodge, his first field goal of the night.
Hey, he's one of those guys that, you look on this Highland, he's a great basketball player. If you look on this Highland team, people seem to forget about him, but the kid's a good player.
Holds that ball up top, now drops it inside. Man, took him a second, does get it off, and then the layup taken by number 5, which is Baby Howe.
Yeah, boy, Emerson Kyleman did everything he could to keep that possession there. And actually worked to his advantage to help free up Davey Howe. Gee.
And he really
a lot of contact there.
He went through a bunch of stuff. And then Howe turns it over. Couldn't quite get to that ball, and it just came off his hands.
Interesting here, Highland, the 4 seed. The winner of this take on the winner of Orem and Brian. I think a lot of people think Orem probably the favorite in that one. Orem Highland would be a real interesting matchup if that's the game we'd get in a semi.
No, I think that'd be a good test for Orem for sure. Because I think Highland provides size, length, athleticism, toughness. They have offensive scoring.
How about the move from Geilman, and how about the block from Brighton Heath?
Let's see if we have this whole thing. Nope, we missed the block, but Heath started it. And how about Geilman? I love that little fake to the wing. Beautiful.
Let's see if Bountiful can get some stops.
He's hanging on a pivot, gives it up to Vi, and he lost the dribble and able to get it back.
Just an 8-point game here.
Yeah, 15 on the shot clock, down to 11.
Got to get stops.
And now it's a 3, and he got it. Man alive. Soren Heath, he can get it done, right?
He can, man. He's Think about this Highland team is once they feel momentum from another team, they hit big shots in opportune times. Do a really good job of that.
The other thing about this Highland team is everyone on the floor can hit a 3. You cannot take an area off of defending. You've got to defend the entire half court, and that's hard to do. You see it big out there, and you think, oh, yeah, we're fine. No, they're going to make you pay.
Yep. It makes a big difference when you have a big that can step out and space the floor, but is also a handful inside. He's a player.
So Jack Anderton now with 2 personal fouls, and how about the steal? Man alive. Anderton just did not give it up easily. So you had the foul, you take it back. The 3 on the way is good. And just like that, Drisdom has 8, and it's a 14-point ball game.
It's pick your poison, right?
And that's the thing about a team like this is, goal, you say you want to take away the pain and make them hit shots over the top of you, and they come out and I don't know how many threes is that, 7?
I don't know. It's 8. A lot. By the way, Isaiah, that's a college 3 in the building his dad played in. Just saying. Anyone?
That's love right there, man.
It's a fact, right?
Hey, it is a fact. That's what it's about, though.
Come right back at it. No.
That's good D by Anderton.
It was. But Anderton, again, just good defense after he picked up the foul.
No, Anderton's a glue guy for this team. He does a lot of things well. He shoots it well. He's a great slasher. He's defending, one of the better players. Good high-low action right there.
Yeah, hand got wrapped around the waist there.
Number 23, Sidney Willis. This first team battle, third quarter. Out of bounds, Highland.
Quickly goes in. The 3 on the way is good. How about that from Brody Dodge? He's got 7 points.
You think about the 3s they've made in the last 2 minutes. They've all been wide open, no even contest. And Highland's hitting those shots.
50-50 balls and 1.
And able to draw the foul. Yeah, this has not gone the way that Gus was really thinking he was going to get this game to.
It's an 11-0 run right now for Highland.
Unreal, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about the runs early, right? The run put on here. Should we have a little Q&A?
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
All right. Coach, you coached one of the real great shooters that we've ever seen in this state in Q Mesa. Young man now up at Idaho State.
Yes, sir.
If I understand correctly.
How about that? He transferred after you, yeah.
How's our boy doing? What's Q up to?
He's actually doing well, man. My wife and I, and he had a lot of support. They just played Weber State a couple weeks ago, and then he was actually at our second round game against Highland this past Friday.
Okay.
So I see him. We talk all the time, and all I think about is like the relationships with kids, and not just with Q, but with a lot of previous kids I've had the opportunity to coach. Coaching is about relationships at the end of the day, and wins and losses, they come and go, but I've had a good opportunity to coach a lot of good kids, man. I have fun.
I mean, like an absolute blast. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, will you just remind him? I mean, I'm wearing my, my collegiate. Just tell him to take it easy, all right? They can still win. Just take it easy, right? Tell Q, hey, maybe settle for 18 in that
Yeah,
game.
I
You don't
feel
have to
you,
really
man.
push it. So
Nah,
I'd appreciate it.
He's been good. I think it's been good. It's been a great learning opportunity for him.
Yeah.
He has a point guard that starts over him right now, but he's a great player. So I think
He'll get time.
He's gonna get time. He's just got to battle and just stay the course.
He was an unreal player to cover. I mean, just you think about, we saw him taking a bunch of threes early on, and as that developed and became more consistent, I mean, you just saw teams double team, and I mean, he still would just find ways, man. It's just unreal watching that kid for 4 years, and
it was great, man. I love that kid. In that class, that whole group of guys, our staff, and what was great about that though is what he instilled in the guys that I have now. And this group that I have with Beckham, Coley, my freshman Allen. So it's been good to see.
Well, I think it's one of those things where there's pride again in playing for Cypress.
Oh, 100%.
Right, and seeing the trajectory of that program taking a 180, it's just been awesome.
Traveling violation on that one, and take away the 3. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, and that's the important thing for me, man, is being the guy that graduated from Cypress High School, and I tell my kids all the time, like I'm prideful about just where I'm from and where I grew up at and the school I went to. It's important, and I think sometimes people lose sight of that.
Of course, Cypress open up a brand new building next year, brand new gym.
And that 3 won't go either.
That gym might be a little bit smaller than Huntsman Center, but not by much.
I'm gonna miss our gym, man. I'm gonna miss it for sure. But I'm excited for the kids in the community, and I'm excited for for everybody to get something nice and shiny and brand new.
Well, they think it's awesome. They just got to be able to sit in it for a little bit.
That's facts.
And then you can make a decision.
You got to get used to shooting in that new building too. That's going to be important.
It's open, man. That is something else.
Don't tell me that, because we have a shooter's gym. Anybody who's played at Cypress.
How about the 3 there from Anderton?
This has been a shooter's gym for Highland. I mean, goodness, you've got, let's see, 7 players who have more than 7 points each for the Rams. That's crazy.
Another turnover for Bountiful.
Mishandled it. Come back the other way. Left hand. No. And the rebound. And then the foul. I love watching coaches, especially the one that's up and the one who's down. And they're actually the very, very same. Because
you see Jonesy's jump stop there?
Yeah. Hey, jump stop.
Pitch it.
And then we go.
I know Jonesy's one of the more animated coaches out there, man.
He is.
But that's what coaching is about, though, man. You got to coach with passion. You gotta wear it on your sleeve. I think a lot of these kids have a lot more respect for coaches who, they just want to see coach that gets after. They care. They care.
If the coach doesn't care, why would the kids?
Yep, exactly.
100%.
1,000,000%.
Great defense.
Nice move.
Falls back, can't get it. Rebound.
Good rebound.
Oh, got it. Couldn't get it in. Oh, and then swatted away by Soren Reese.
Boy, good stick-to-itiveness there by Soren. Just knowing when to go after that ball and gets a great block.
I think that Jordan right there, he's a very underrated defender. He does a really good job. Bodies guys, keep guys in front. That was great defense on the other end. Good decision. Another 3 ball.
Sends out deep 3. And he got it to go. And he looks back at the crowd and says, hey, that's 3.
How about this? Charlie Hodge was the only player to not have more than 7. He's got 5 right now. So get the ball to 15. You can have all 8 scores over 7 in this one for Highland.
Tough, man. It's tough to scout for. It's tough to prepare for a team that has 5 guys averaging between 10 and 12 points.
You were real competitive with this team. What was key for you in that matchup?
The key for us was just, physicality, keeping them off the glass, and, really taking care of the paint. They shot the ball pretty well, but they made some timely shots. But we played really well that game, and guys did a really good job.
How about the shot? It goes. Oh, man, there was a 2-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. And man alive, Highland does not care about the shot difference.
Grady Lee, nice little handoff. How about the little hang and hit off the window as Highland continues to roll.
We go to the fourth quarter, and it's 57-31. Highland leads over Bountiful. And welcome back in. Start of the fourth quarter with Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Trey Smith bringing the game to you as that floater goes there from Lincoln Smith.
And that, I think it was 38-31. So those buckets end what was a 19-0 run.
A 19-0 run at the time.
Well, it was 38-31, right? 39-31. So
that is big time, man. It's tough to
lost that
have
handle.
the 50-50s.
Yep. As he's going to hold it here near side. We'll see how much they get into this. I mean, there's an opportunity. The coach can feel like it's there.
But for Bountiful, it's just get on here and competing and just leaving it on the floor and not mailing it in. There's still time. Things can happen.
Got a bit of a drive. Going to send it out for three. No. And the rebound to Soren. And how about that from Soren Reese? Like, whoa, 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 whoa. I just, we're going to run something really calmly here. And a turnover. Threw it away. Here comes the Bountiful offense. As they save that ball in. Yeah. And you've got to save that ball in.
Shoot it.
Sends it out. Now going to pull.
Oh,
Man, that ball was 3 parts of the way down there for Wyatt Crane.
that was a good look. Should we say a little?
Yeah, it's only a 30-second time.
Do some more Q&A with Trey.
I'm ready.
Trey, who's been the player? You've had a lot of headliners, right? We talked about Q, and we talked about Diego. Who's been right now? You've got a couple with Coley and Beckham. Who's the player who's not like the headliner? Who's been like that kid worked harder than any other kid? That you just have a respect for his work ethic.
Cutter McCarr. He was one of the kids who he was a senior for me this year. He was a grinder, man. He worked extremely hard, and what's nice about having a senior that has that work ethic is I think it passes on to the young guys, right? So guys like Coley, Beckham, Allen, and some of my younger sophomores that got to help us be successful next year. You see a kid like that who's just a grinder and did a lot of good things. So
what does that mean? You hear a lot about players working hard. What does it mean? What do you expect as a coach for a player to work hard?
I think it goes more into, a 2.5 hour practice every day. It's what are you doing outside the gym on your own time? Are you watching film? Are you lifting weights? Do you have scheduled workouts? Are you working on your skill development even during the season, right? Everybody's tired. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's banged up. But he still has 3 workouts per week. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he was a kid that I respect heavily, but also was a big reason why, he deserved the starting role on my roster this year.
How about the drive and the finish there from the Jack Anderton? Puts him at 9 points on the evening. I say evening, it is still early in the morning.
I know.
I was gonna say too. I was like, what time is it right now? I was being a little confused.
It feels like 7 o'clock for 16 hours. It's the weirdest thing when you come to these games because the lighting never changes, right?
I know, man.
So
and it just gets you. Like yesterday, we're getting done with our 4th game, and I thought, oh, what time is it? And I was like, wait a minute, it's like 2 o'clock. Like
it's time to go watch Judge Judy.
Send that ball into the corner. Back up top, nearly lost that one, but getting it a reset up top here with the guy. Yeah, good pressure. Sends it out. The 3 on the way. Lips out. And the rebound grabbed by Geilman, now on the run.
Coach, are you superstitious?
Not too much, to be honest. Like I'm day to day. I just do what I got to do.
Because you don't have like a daily, I got to get this in every day, as the 3 is off the front of the iron.
The only thing I'm superstitious about is I feel like for a really big game, I have these black Kobe Mamba socks.
Okay.
I always wear them under my dress socks.
Under your dress socks.
Under my dress socks. All the time. So, so like sometimes like a big
Yeah, you
game.
have a thing, right?
That's kind of what I do.
You are probably one of the snazzier dressers. How do you decide what you're gonna wear?
I can't
Like, how do you decide between the blue or the yellow, or
can't show it too much? I try to. If you've seen it twice, I can't wear it again.
So he puts it on, and that's it. It's funny that you say that, because he got a fouls on the drive was Wyatt Crane. But it's just funny to hear, like, well, I just can't talk about it. I have a lot of people who want to know. But it's like, people don't think about that, right? Like, whatever it is that you can put on the black Mamba socks.
100%, man, 100%. I also had a coach in college, man. He was big on, you always have to look the part, right? You always have to. He just always talked about, being clean cut, being confident, having pride, like. So I take that always into consideration.
Oh, God. He had a great handle as Jack Anderson had the easy layup, and then to come back and then nearly get a steal as well. But no, that's just funny that happens, right? Because for me, it's like, hey, it's not just what I'm doing, but it's also what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Trying to figure out what this kid's looking for. Douglas is trying to help someone with something. I don't know what that is.
I think he's looking for the scoring table. I think
okay. The 3 is good. And then a T.
It might be the second delay of game.
Yeah, delay game.
It's one of the things when you look at this game, and it'll be interesting when the stats come through to look at the difference on the three-point shooting. I mean, it's probably a heavy advantage Highland. I don't know, maybe 10-2, 10-3 in terms of a three-point shot.
Oh, yeah. Highland's hit double-digit threes
today,
today, for sure, 100%. Bountiful struggles from the 3, and, that's why they're only at 38 points right now. And, everybody knows they're a good shooting team, but
they've shot really well today, though.
That just comes with it. When you're missing shots, when you're making shots, you're a different team.
I'm thinking that was the young man that was talking about.
That's my guess.
Definitely.
Sends that ball, little floater, won't go. And the loose ball picked up by Highland. 3:35 left in this one. And, man, it's been an impressive outing here for the Highland Rams. I mean, it's just been absolutely killer. And there's the 3. Man, that's 14 points for Jack Anderson.
Tell you, man, he's the X factor, man. The kid he's a player. The kid is a player.
I had a question for you, and it's escaped me. So we'll call a little audible. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Coach, Cypress been in 6A the last couple of years. You were in 6A. You dropped to 5A the last couple of years. What has that transition been like, if anything, for you? What's the difference, 6A, 5A? What do you see on the floor in terms of the difference in the leagues?
I don't know. I don't know if there's been, too much of a difference. I think when it comes to 5A, 6A, there's good programs throughout, right? And, even some 4A schools, like, if you have a good team, you can compete with anybody. I'm not real heavy into the whole classifications, right? There's good programs with good players and good teams out there. So, but for us, the transition was pretty good. I think in the next couple of years, we could potentially move up back to 6A just with the new school. I think we're going to have a ton of kids. So that's something that we could potentially see in the future.
Well, it's one of the things, you've got a mic right now. For any young player listening, what would be the advice you'd give to a youngster who wants to, come play at the U in a future time?
I think for a lot of these kids, man, coaches want kids just love the game and have a passion for the game and want to learn. I think one of the biggest downfalls of student athletes is, I don't think kids watch the sport. Like, I remember being a kid growing up, like, I watched college basketball every Saturday. I watched college football every Saturday. Like, I enjoyed it, so studying the game and having a love and passion for it, not just watching the highlights, right?
Right.
So, that'd be my advice, man. Just have a love and passion for it, and if you love it, chase it.
If you love it, right, you're going to have opportunities.
100%.
And that's just one of the funny things about when you look at just whatever it is you want to do, you're going to have an opportunity just simply because of how it works. It's just different.
And the thing I love about that is I think in our culture, and I'm as guilty as anyone, we have become so highlight prone where it's like, oh, show me 60 seconds, right? And then we move on to the next thing. It's like, no, sit down and study it. Like, go watch a full game, go watch 2 hours of basketball and see all the little intricacies that you're not going to see on a highlight, right? But those are going to be the plays that actually get you on the floor.
100%.
So I
100%.
love that.
Especially at the collegiate level. It's not about shooting the three and making shots and all this other stuff. Once you get to that collegiate level, coaches already got those guys. So what are the things that are going to get you on the floor to help you be a part of winning?
That was a great three there from Charlie Hodge, who has 8 points. How about Charlie Smith? His three last time put him at 10 points.
Yep.
And he's done a lot of good, not just today, but just throughout his career at Bountiful.
Charlie's been great for Bountiful in his career, and he's one of the seniors on this team. So this is probably his last game, averaging 13 points per game. He and Lincoln have been kind of right there. And, it's hard. It's hard as a senior. Heath's a senior as well. This Bountiful team last year, they got to the quarters, had a real tough game, I think against Timpview, if I recall correctly. And so much experience returning. They were hoping to be able to put together a run this year. Had a great year. I think 20-4 coming into this one.
Definitely.
Region champs out of Region 5, and it's just been one of those days. And it's hard. I mean, Coach, what's it like to have to play a 9 a.m. game in a state tournament?
It's tough, man. But at the same time, I think Coach G had his guys ready. Highland just came out. They made some shots. They defended well. They forced turnovers, and I think the biggest thing is they scored off of Bountiful's turnovers.
And the three there from Lincoln Smith.
But you still got. I give Coach G. A lot of credit, man. He's done really good things with this Bountiful program. He's going to continue to be one of the premier programs in the state. So, regardless of the outcome today, I think they're in really good hands. They're in a really good spot.
Bodie Hodge gets the and one. So now at the free throw line, looking for the three-point play, and he does get it. So he's got 13 on the afternoon.
And what's great about these opportunities for this Highland team, and they're up by a large margin here, is getting these guys in that don't get much time, but getting them some playoff experience. This is good. This is good for them.
By the way, it is now official. 7 different Highland Rams have more than 7 points today.
Insane. Like, that's tough to do.
Their leading scorer has 14. So it's not like there's a 20 guy, and that's where it's like you talk about the depth. I asked you, right? Is this the deepest team? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a tough task to take on this Highland group.
And you're right. And we've seen some games where Highland's been in the 50s, right? And we talked about it earlier today. They can also score 70, 80 in any given point in time.
And a bunch of substitutions. You saw how many large substitutions, and he's had a bunch of guys that we know, and watch them go to the bench for the last time. And all the stuff we just got to witness there. And there's a turnover. We're going to go back to Bountiful. But let's talk about the Bountiful Redhawks, Dane. I mean, we knew that Coach G would come in and make some changes. They would make a bunch of different stuff, and he has changed a lot of what this program's about.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's completely changed the style of pace that they play. It's an up and down. The intensity's there, and they look to score. They look to get out and run. They look to put up a bunch of points. And I love the style. It is super fun. The defense is intense. Another region title this year, and it's building it's continuing to build on what's been one of the real stellar programs in the state, which is not easy to do. Not a lot of guys want to come in after the legend, right, of a Mike Maxwell, and Gus has done a great job with that.
Yep, when you got huge shoes to fill like that, man, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. But like I said, Coach G's he's done a great job. And I'll always be a fan, man. I'll always be a fan of Coach G.
Well, and he's such a good dude, and that's the other part is, there, as you hear the big chant and all that stuff, as these big guys are going to come out. But you think about what it is at Highland and anywhere else, it's such a big to-do about what they're accomplishing.
Oh, 100%. 100%. With Highland coming in and having this opportunity and, moving to the semis, they're gonna have their hands full, but I think they have just as good a shot as anybody else.
Well, because I think their last state championship, Dusty's what, 07? With
Yes.
Steve Panos and company? I mean, it's been a while, Coach. I mean, it was Keith West.
That's when I graduated. It was 07.
Was it
and
really?
That Highland team was in our region.
What was that
they
like?
were a handful.
I love that Highland team. Dusty,
They were-
Dusty
I
remembers?
did. I love
I was
that
a
team.
big Steve Panos guy.
Hey, Panos was my guy, man. Panos is cool, man. That whole team, though, Orchard, Panos.
They were so good.
They had some guys.
They did.
They were athletic, quick.
I almost got ran over after the state championship. The Highland hecklers all wanted to come on the floor with me.
That is so true.
It was the running of the Rams in West Valley City.
Got in and able to get the bucket. I don't think I have that number.
That's cool for that young fella, man.
Yeah,
To
that's
get a
really
bucket
cool.
in the state tournament, that's cool. Good for him.
That was Zollinger who had the bucket there. So congratulations to him. And, man, a lot of that is the end of this one. And, Trey, been an absolute blast, man, to have you out here and have you with us. It's been an absolute blast, but just a crazy, crazy finish to this ballgame.
Oh, yeah, man. Highland got hot. They hit a lot of shots in that second half. They turned Bountiful over. They scored well in transition. And like you guys said, they had 7 guys with 7 or more points.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be, they're tough to scout for. They're tough to beat. But great job by Coach Jones and having his guys prepared to play. A great job by Highland this morning.
This morning.
There we go.
But, Dayton, just crazy to see the run from Gus come to a close this season.
Yeah, I mean, another great year for Bountiful. And, it's hard. I mean, I say this all the time. Only one team wins their last game of the year, right? And it's hard to be that last team. And today they just ran into a buzzsaw. That 18-0 run's the difference. I mean, you look at the final score, it's a 21-point game.
Yeah.
An 18-0 run in that third quarter where Highland really pulled away. And Bountiful made some shots in that fourth, but by then the damage was done. Just didn't have enough to get back, and it's hard. You've got to play a full 32 if you want to try to upset the Highland Rams.
It is so true, and it's got to be able to get on top of that and get it
Yeah.
going. Well, again, hey, been great to have you out here. Love having you.
I appreciate it. Hey, for anybody watching, 2 of the best people I know, man. I love these guys. They've done a lot for me and, the high school athletics overall. So I'm speaking for all of us coaches, what you guys do for Utah and basketball, football, you name it. We appreciate it, and I love the hell out of you.
Thanks, Coach.
We love
Yes,
you
sir.
too, man. Well, again, our final score goes to Highland, and, man, that was really, really impressive. For Dane Stewart and for Coach Smith, I'm Dusty Litzer. Thanks for joining us and for watching the 2025 5A State Tournament.